My name is Bosco Katiwe Kitema. I'm a doctor in pathology and also a research scientist. I have this manuscript to deliver to you a scientific physics principle about it. And before that, we shall come to principle. When you talk of principle, this is the type between there is a principle and there is innovation. There is also innovation. These three words seem to be intertwined in one way or the other, but I wanted to give a distinctive difference between the three. That is when we say this is a scientific principle, like the ones of the legged Greek philosophers, the Archimedes. A principle is God-meant nature that also has to be interfered by a man to make a principle. For instance, whenever I'll give an example, I'm sorry to give for an example for another principle. When Archimedes looked the bodies, he saw when a body is floated, it has some what we call the half thrust. The body was using a stone or a log, and immersed the body in the water, which is the logo a stone, whichever body. The body meant a lot of interest on what you want to immerse. So this principle is a creation of God interfered by a man to become a principle. So if at all anything has not been interfered, cannot be called a principle. That is why we have principle, the difference between principle and a law, man-made. This is the difference. This is when we come to innovation, this is when we come to a law. Because in that prescription, the Archimedes principle was done in fashion to bring the law of flotation. The law of flotation. This is a distinctive difference. This was innovation from a principle to an innovation. The innovation is the expansion of knowledge acquired from a principle to work as a law. Innovation is the diversification of ideas. You may, for instance, I remember some farmers which in Mexico diversified from cotton lint belt to corn. This is when they were cotton farmers. And through that innovation and diversification, they came to a class. They start planting maize in subsidy. This is an innovation of an idea which was treated by some experts and knew cotton would go longer because it was invented by people. So no longer this was out. It would have gone further to be planted. So they diversified the diversification. This is the innovation. They sat and found it good to start planting maize as such. Now let's come to our central motivation. This principle I'm narrating today is about it. The principle is Bosco Katiwa Sistema This is Bosco Katiwa Sistema's principle of it. This is how it goes. I'll read it in bold, but that to be very visible for everybody watching to see. This is how it is stated. For breathing, this is the first part of it. When liquids are exposed in an air device, acquires radiant initial heat. This one, we state it as latent heat potent. To apply this, whenever any liquid, an device may mean a sea, a cup, a drum, a tank, any container which would be able to carry capacity of a liquid. That is what we call an air device. So in that, this, whenever it acquires radiant heat from the sun, direct heat from the sun, it reaches to a potent, the latent heat potent. From there, it has to go before it reaches at the boiling point. Whenever liquid, every liquid has its own varied temperatures with the boiling point. You can't say that it's always uniform, never. Every liquid has its own. These, to verify that, these go This goes in uniform with the density of the matter. Second, viscous drum. Also, it has to be into accordance with the source. And orientation. This is a true figure of the principle. This, most of the words are complicated, yes, but they are known. Whenever you go, some you can Google, like you can go to the dictionary, but before then, I will give you the explanatory part of it, which I will go later, or as you read, to verify what is meant by this principle. Whenever you have to boil with a test tube container, meaning heated by Bunsen burner. This is the quantity that we have to, let's say, 40 mils of water. From there, in this illustrative, because it is very self-explanatory in itself, this water has to be boiled because the latent heat potent, let's assume latent heat potent. We have also to develop another abbreviation which I never mentioned in the universal code of abbreviation, but it has meaning whatever we are using it. So it is very well known whenever these bodies are to be, this water mass has to be boiled. Let's say the LP was 12 degrees centigrade, which means this was the temperatures before it was heated. This is what we call the latent heat potent, because it has acquired some radiant heat to this temperature. From there, we shall shoot the temperatures by heating. I think that one very self-explanatory. The illustrative, I believe on illustratives because they are more elaborative than words themselves. From there, this is where we have to invent our center of interest. When liquids are exposed in an edifice is an open or enclosed, acquires radiant, this is from the sun, radiant heat, which is the latent heat potent. The word latent in this matter means dormant. The heat, this heat, we call it dormant heat because it has not been put into an energy to the boiling point. This is where, before it reaches at boiling point. This is why some I've told and I've said, every liquid has its own boiling point. You don't assume to be uniform all the same. This goes in accordance with the density of the matter you are dealing with. This is also viscous drag. This is pressure in liquid. This is the terminology used. And source is very important because you may be using charcoal jiko, another one is using gas, another one is using like a Bunsen burner as you are using the illustrative. These also using the same container, they won't bring the ideal time. The time will vary. Some will take longer, others will take shorter periods. The orientation is the container you are using. A container may be from this, like this one test tube. This test tube is very light. The material, the texture is very light. So it will have to be ignited faster, more than a drum, which is of aluminum, which of the same capacity would load. So there is difference. That's why we have included orientation. This is when you talk of specific heat capacity in metal. That's one in physics. From this context, we shall also come to another calculation. This is where it goes. There is a theorem. And there is also a concept. In arriving, there is a calculation factors which have never been discovered. That is why I'm saying this principle is a principle, because this one is a discovery of the same. This short while I'll give you the theory. From here, I'll give you the theorem and the concept. In this context, we shall adopt F as a factor. You know what it means by factor whenever you are dealing with mathematical calculations. And nowhere else, C to stand for constant. This is when we have taken an example of water. Whenever we talk of constant, we know already at all, water to reach at the boiling point should reach 100 degrees Celsius. This is a constant because has no variation whatsoever whenever we are using water as the liquid of instruction per principle. From there, this is where we build a theorem. That is F1 stands or represents temperature. F2 represents time factor, and this is also in minutes. Since we cannot account it for seconds, because second will be so miscellaneous. It will bring to what illustrative as shown. We base it on minutes. That is, from there, we depict a mathematical theorem which states in this way: F1 over F2 is equal to C. From there, we shall come to replace the numeral. F1, this is the temperature. We have 12 degrees centigrade. What we are looking for is the F2. The constant, and is very, very vital. I want you to put it in the account. The constant is the 100 degrees centigrade, which is the normal boiling point of water. This one from there is what the theorem has to state. Let's come to the concept. You see, LHP over time in minutes. This is another word we have introduced also. A synonym has been brought into operation. We use it till. That is to mean time in minutes. which is also has to account for 100 degrees centigrade whenever we are using centigrade, the Celsius scale. This is, you can either use, this is more complicated, this is advanced, and this one is simple. This is simple. This is just made to derive, instead of going all that far, this equation is simple because it drives the same, it drives to an answer. That is why I'm calling, we are differentiating it to call it a concept, and the theorem as to abide with the calculation and some other details. So these also the two arrive to one answer. Let's come to the part of it which we shall do what is needed of us, and then we what the illustrative and the equation has stated. Whenever you replace, this will go to get those, because doing so much, this one you will base it at 1/60. That is the concept we are using. How many minutes are there? How many seconds are there in a minute? They are 60 seconds. That is the basic. So that in the new time you will get some 4 minutes. This is a simple. Whenever we have gone that far, we have also to look at some factors whenever we are dealing with the principle. You can't do a lot of work without any response of benefit. This is when we have to account for the benefit in this. We have in physics is a very broad subject. We have one, the benefit. The benefits of this principle will be accounted in this part, where we shall look at the benefits underlying. Who are to benefit from this account? One, as I told you, physics has many departments, as many as possible, because this will be encountered by those who are doing what we call elementary physics. We should be very careful. Elementary physics. This is bounded to students. Either you do to pass the exam, you do for promotion, to be promoted, or to get a reward. There are some people, whenever they may still be in a class, and the teacher tells them, whoever will get a certain percentage will get a certain reward. This is the motive, even in the workplace, the motive is all the same. Then you fight to get a award in what you are doing. We have also the beneficiary others. We shall look at departments others which will benefit from this principle. We have two, research and applied knowledge. This will also benefit people doing research in research institutions and apply the knowledge as well. There is also another department of which will benefit. We have the industrial, which will benefit from the principle. We have the industrial, manufacturing, engineering, assembly, and processing. Sector. These also will go ahead to benefit in number 4. This will also come to will also will benefit convectional diseases. This one is very complicated because it's an expert term. This is where you look a leaflet in a medicine and you see it written as prescribed by physician. This department of physics is called convectional physics. This is also a department also of physics. Number 5, we have also the aeronautical department. The aeronautical department, basically, because some may have no knowledge on that, is basically for navigation, aids navigation. That is including aircraft, ships, vessels. That is what it means by navigation. It is the controller of this system of technology. From there, it has also another interest. Whenever we talk of aeronautics, we also attach the nature of climate, which is climatic zone. This also has to deal with the climatic zone, weather, to give an highlight what is happening beyond it. Because for an aircraft to become airborne, these factors should be taken into account so that wherever it's heading to, there will be no cause of any problems or harm. There is also a department another department of physics, this is number 6, it's the cloud physics. This is very important in agriculture. And also weather forecast. you will notice that there are some advanced countries like British Columbia. Whenever this benefits the inhabitants of British Columbia, because British Columbia is one of the blue zone in agricultural, and also whenever you expect agricultural produce, you must expect transportation for the goods to reach the buyers. So the aircraft are very safe. This is the cloud physics originated. We also have another department of meteorology.
Hello.
This is another funny department in the medics, in the world of medicine, because this is a physician. Who lives food stuff or fruit. To regulate some deficiencies, to treat some sicknesses or some diseases, to call it, I want to use a simple term, most technical experts. This is where you will see a physician prescribe this physician the nutrition, the person. This is the person, physician. And so, what the physician will prescribe to a sick person, for instance, to use simply something like pineapple. To treat fever, very simple. There are many other examples as well. We will also see you can prescribe a patient to use honey, normal honey. It is also a liquid. We don't eat pineapples whenever they are raw. Whenever we come to nutrition, we don't eat raw fruit. We just blend them. That is why this one goes in the part of the liquid. You will also, because this is the sauce, whereby you have the pineapple, you have the bromelain. The bromelain enzyme. This is most of the enzyme we used to do for synthesis of protein to a smaller particle which can be absorbed in the body. This is how the nutropathic division works. There are so many yet some other examples, like for instance, we may choose to say, because people say some are not listening, you will say Guyana shepherd. Cayenne pepper, this being blended. Also, always, you don't eat raw chili because the seeds will be staggered in your digestive system and it shall cause some other problem. You don't treat to cause problem. You treat absolutely. That is what I'm giving you to get caution whenever you are using pepper. These are also a supplement of vitamin C. This is supplementary because those who don't take, they can take an option like Giga. There is also the supplement in the so remember, this cayenne pepper will also have to be removed to the membrane whenever you are blending the seed, so that you blend and put it in a bottle, where enclosed bottle where the germs will not contaminate. There is no any raw food stuff which will be uncovered and stay for long, and use it for twice. Don't expect it to stay for a week. So it should be very costly for preservation, because that one will not take you to the desired result you need for. There is also another department. There are so many information because time we are talking about time, and there is also another department. This homeopathy is using of some dangerous materials to extract medicine. Let me give you, I believe on, I've told you, I believe on illustrative. Like, whenever you go, you have seen this type of a snake in your lifetime, or you might have not seen it. This snake venom is used by physicians, the homeopathic person. This is the person, the doctor who gives this extraction of poison from this snake. This is the homeopath will extract this drug to treat things like some irregularities like anticoagulants. This is a term, very complicated term, but whenever you go in the dictionary, this is where blood has to be clotted for some savage of life. I remember once in our Kenya's last election, 22-27, we had an aspirant by the name of John Wajakoya, who gave an highlight of Kenyan blue economy by saying we should breed some useful snake. This snake is very precious and very useful. This snake will make Kenya a blue economic country. In this context, the snake is very precious and has a lot of benefits. But whenever there is a benefit, whenever there is an advantage, there must be disadvantage. This snake, whenever it bites you, you won't reach to the hospital. The only nearest hospital is the grave. This has never been noted how you can treat the bite of a Lachesis mutus, or we call it bushmaster. This is the bushmaster. The snake is Lachesis mutus. This is the biological name. English name. this bushman. Because this is the most poisonous thing. And this breed does very well in a hot climate, which we have here in Africa. Because whenever it's breeded in places like Minnesota in America, where climates are humid and they are very cold, it won't bring the desired poison required by the Mohepa to extract the poison. This is when we come to this concept. I should be understood very well. This snake, you don't have to kill this snake and say you added the harbor of the scientific principle saying it has a coagulant treatment in it. This must go. This is where we call it. This must go should undergo, and this must be noted with asterisk. I don't want anybody to do misconcepts to my damage or anything, but no, to your damage, because I have said clearly and very clearly. These are the goals. Process of extensive process of extensive successive to mark. Series of dilution and dilution. This person has to go many gradual processes. This process you undergo is snake venom. They know how to tape it. The experts know how to extract. They know how to cut the snake and put it a certain mask, which is not common, to extract the poison and then go to the processing of this poison to be a drug which is used by mankind. It should go a process of extensive. From this area, we go to another process for extension to be known the remains of the poison. Is it dangerous for the human being? And it should also go successfully to another process of purification. This series of dilution will give to an answer whether this poison can be used in mankind. That's the match we have for this precious golden snake, because the color portrays gold color. You can see the snake is golden because it's gold. God created it on its unique factor. However, being poisonous, he has a lot of advantages prevailing. We also have some other departments which will be yet to benefit. We have the medical, herbal sciences. Whenever we talk of, mostly in Africa, whenever we talk of medical herbal science, some people attribute it as stone. Others attribute it to superstition. Others attribute it to superstition. This is rightly a medication like these ones of the confection. We are talking of confection of medicine. The ones are from our local chemistry, other fooding stuff. So like pharmaceutical food stores, we have all the supplements. This is a wrong ideology because there are some people who are allergic to sodium. There are those also are allergic to sulfur. These people, whenever they become sick, and the medicine which ought to treat them is of this category of components, this person would have many problems. This is where he is referred to medical herbal science expert. So to understand why we use herbal medicine. There are also, whenever we have these cases, there are people in the language of medical practitioner, we call it intolerance. Some people, whenever they say you can use 1 kiloton, they use even 6 kiloton, and they will feel drowsy. They will just be walking as normal. This is the cases where, whenever this the conventional medicine does not apply to give result, that is when we opt for the medical herbal science. That is we call herbalist. We call it the person herbalist doctor. And those for them is very present in the exam. Doctor who is a physician. We have also number 10, this contest. This is where we have to get some other, before we go to that, there is another phrase for all those of emphasize in the number 9. These are the examples. An herbalist, physician, doctor will use Verotra. This is herbal. This herbal is very Verotra. This herbal is very has high venom than any other the jungle. He can use Verotra to treat. To treat teeth disorders or teeth disorders. This is very important. This is a poison, and you also have to treat. There are also some other examples, like these are also herbs which are very useful. This is to treat disorders in the stomach and intestine. They are that factor to become nice, hyperacidic. The Nigella is also used. Nigella is also used in treating antibiotics. These ones and I will also have to put in your study. This one is only and only if is right, is only and only if your state has to verify these drugs to be used. You know what it means by cannabis sativa. You know what it means by Nigella sativa. Because I don't want to hear any other misconception of this. That the author of the principle told us you can use cannabis sativa, you are found in your country, you are a policeman carrying a huge shrub, saying that you are going to treat yourself for some disorders. Negative. These are made for the experts, like we have said in the homeopathy. These are to go under excessive dilution processes. And also your state department must recognize. Don't say, I gave you permission to use this. If you use, to your demise also. You wouldn't convict me for such and you create things for such. That is what we have arrived at. There is also another expert. This is number 10. We shall give you. There is a, whenever you see this illustration, as you can see, portrays an eye of a person. This eye of a person, whenever, I will be very brief to the point, whenever you see this eye, people may attribute in different ways, because this has the most, is an organ which has the most broad spectrum in terms of medical concern. Because an eye will enable you to see, will enable you for perception, will enable you for beauty, and also some experts like investigating officer will use an eye in some course. I'm not of that department, but I know the process undergoes. They, in coincidence with the forensic, they will identify a dead body, the culprit of the dead body who has done the wrong. So, an eye also has an optic. It's not, today we are not talking of optic nature of science, optic science. We are not also talking of ophthalmology, that's the treatment of eye. We are based on the part we call iris. That is why we have this department is very funny because this department deals with an eye, just a portion, the iris of an eye. This is iris diagnosis. This is a special expert, special advanced expert. These are all experts, but these are special because whenever you look in most of the countries, iridologists are very few because in some universities we don't have these vacancies teaching iridology. This is where it comes. Whenever you can bring to near to the camera so that you know what really I'm speaking. That eye has a lot of many parts. Number 1, number 2, there's numerous of them, even to amounting to 30. Some surrounding this iris. There are some small letters, not letters but numbers. These numbers are not really the part of the eye. These numbers are invented on a special index which has response for such and such organ. This is where a number, this index, whenever you give iridologist will tell you using very powerful camera. We don't use our eyes. It will cheat many people. We use another powerful camera, which has to bring the whole feature. Whenever the physician will tell you this medication you are using is speaking. That is the one aspect which has vital importance in iridology. So it has also the emphasis and as the agrammatic expression whenever every eye is attached to a part of the body. That's why whenever you woke up with, when you are in fever overnight, you wake up with some mucus. That means there was some reaction and there was fight in your body wherever you are asleep. To mean that the eye has that potential of getting the whole of your body on your rest, taking pictures or let's say photographs, every part of the body and bring for notification with the mucus. This also is very important, that the eye has a lot of importance in that an eye gives you, leave alone giving sight. It has to give you a response of some organ, meaning there must be an organ going wrong whenever you work with some mucus on your both eyes or a single eye. So that is the very most vital importance of iridology. This is a department, is also a physician in addition. We have also some other experts. That one I've given you, go very faster. We have 11. We have cardiology. This is also a physician, and you know, the depth part of it, you'll ask, why am I including cardiologists? The experts know what to use in this category. He's also a physician and also some derived importance in this aspect of the principle. We have also the reflexologist. This is the material. I'll go faster. This reflexology resembles like the one of reflex action, but it has some organs and parts. In fact, they have been noted by physicians to know what goes wrong whenever all pathological tests laboratory tests have gone in vain. This is where we arrive to reflexology physicians. These are the numbers. Let me also give the camera some close because the numbers are very small and minute. This is the whole figure of what I'm speaking of. There is left hand left foot response, and there is the right foot response. They don't behave the same. It's also like when we have left hand, whenever you are taking fingerprints, and the left hand, they don't behave the same, though they are from one part. These are also the small numbers you can see. They are not the parts of the, as we told in physiology, they are not the parts of a leg. There's no many parts you can see. These are also special index, which bring a geogrammatic emphasis to the brain whenever they are touched. This is very interesting and very hard to be understood by everybody, but the experts are getting what they have to explain. This is also where a physician will understand the thinking of the medicine you are using, especially whenever there is consultation of uric acid. This system will define whenever a person has uric acid. And because you know already whenever a person has uric acid, some drugs do not respond positively. That is the much we can talk of reflexology. And in this part is a very wide subject. Even we have to, I'm just giving an highlight. If you have to read this, it shall take 4 years. I'm just giving the highlights. That's all. Because this is a subject on its own, is a bias in science, medical science. So we should also give time, because there are those who want to know what portrays this contest in the these also we shall come also. This is the part 1 from where we have highlighted from. This is the part 1. There is when we shall come to some conclusion part of it. This is when we shall review. These are review terms. We shall come to review public participation. Housing. Public housing, that is participation. Through questionnaire. Through questionnaire. I will avail myself in 1 week, either one on Monday, the other one on Friday. This is to be categorized into two. This is when we have the general public, I don't use the word layman. It's a stupid ideology, and I'm not so abusive. This is the general public. The two, we shall have the experts. This is whenever you are asking questions, I will have my date to disconnect your phone. Whenever you pin cross, I will understand you. You may ask me as an expert while you are in the general public. You can ask me in the general public while you are expert to introvert my attention. You will be very wrong, because I've studied things in broad spectrum. So these are the reviews which shall be, these are the reviews we shall be revealing on time to time. Whenever you see me on Lifeline, whenever you see me on Lifeline, so there will also be another category which will be, this is number, this we can call it part 1, this is part 2, and part 3, let me go use Roman numerals. Part 3, this will encounter the contact or users of the principle. And thoughts. Pertaining the principle I have analyzed here. Because for anything to benefit, there must be terms and conditions prevailing, so that there will be no misunderstanding or other misunderstanding. This will give, I will give also an highlight for how you go about it for those who are benefiting, because you won't go for your negligence and say the author of the principle told me I should do this and I should do this on your unskilled knowledge. This is why we should also have a contract in bid, because you don't make things for granted, so that some questions or interrogative measures or creation of something, you don't, in this principle, I won't allow that. You should engage a careful and an expert whenever you are to use the words and the items of this principle in your benefit. There is also the fourth part. You shouldn't ask why I'm including so many parts. This is the beneficiaries. After the deceased. I always talk of the indispensability of a man. I will not live longer. I'm not a stone even. So, whenever this contract will apply, whenever I will die, there are some factors which would come, because I'm an expert. My family, maybe there are some laymen, they don't understand how I arrived to this principle, and question them or interrogate them or file a suit against them in my absence. That one will be null and void, because the contract line says the beneficiaries should be addressed irresponsible and will now have any liabilities whatsoever on my absence. So thank you very much for what we have already introduced. Is a material which can help the world and grow well with knowledgeable persons all over the world. Thank you very much for your appreciation. This is what I have. You may ask, the law expert may ask, how will I arrive to these thoughts and contract and beneficiaries? This will be in collaboration with the UCC, Universal Commercial Code. Whenever we have to make contracts, this will be in conformity with the Universal Commercial Code. It will be in collaboration with law in the Constitution, in the contract, in the country I'm living in. So whenever you have questions, there will come a time of questionnaire where you'll be knowledgeable for your question. And I've told you, don't feel afraid to call me. What I don't want is anybody who will make a scene of taking a suit. You will have no, because this is expert. I know there are many experts we have to hire from all over the world. Don't come to ask questions which you don't belong. These are all expertise principle, like this one of Archimedes, the ancient Greek philosopher, and he started the way I've started, and we read them whenever we are in upper and lower secondary, and we passed the exams, and that's why we are in the workforce. Thank you very much. God bless you.